Welcome to the salt of the streets, coming at you every week with this food for thought. Hope you ready to eat. With everything going on in this nation, we need some information, and that's why salt need to be stationed in your rotation. With real talking, real topics, real people, real problems. Think we need some help to solve them, and leave it up to Colin and the Donovan. Cause that's what's that? Oh, let's get ready. Welcome to the salt of the streets, coming at you every week with this food for thought. Hope you ready to eat. With everything going on in this nation, we need some information, and that's why salt need to be stationed in your rotation. With real talking, real topics, real people, real problems. Think we need some help to solve them, and leave it up to Colin and the Donovan. Cause that's what's that? Oh, let's get ready. Welcome to the salt of the streets, coming at you every week with this food for thought. Hope you ready to eat. With everything going on in this nation, we need some information, and that's why salt need to be stationed in your rotation. With real talking, real topics, real people, real problems. Think we need some help to solve them, and leave it up to Colin and the Donovan. Cause that's what's that? Oh, let's get ready. Welcome to the salt of the streets, coming at you every week with this food for thought. Hope you ready to eat. With everything going on in this nation, we need some information, and that's why salt need to be stationed in your rotation. With real talking, real topics, real people, real problems. Think we need some help to solve them, and leave it up to Colin and the Donovan. Cause that's what's that? Oh, let's get ready. Welcome to the salt of the streets, coming at you every week with this food for thought. Hope you ready to eat. With everything going on in this nation, we need some information, and that's why salt need to be stationed in your rotation. With real talking, real topics, real people, real problems. Think we need some help to solve them, and leave it up to Colin and the Donovan. Cause that's what's that? Oh, let's get ready. to the streets. Another fantastic episode. Everyday Normal Person's Podcast. Salt to the streets. Upper left or the upper left? Just upper left. Welcome to the salt of the streets, coming at you every week with this food for thought. Hope you ready to eat. With everything going on in this nation, we need some information, and that's why salt need to be stationed in your rotation. With real talking, real topics, real people, real problems. Think we need some help to solve them, and leave it up to Colin and Donovan, cause that's what's that? Oh, let's get ready. We're back to Salt to the Streets podcast. Social and political commentary. Life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, right? That's always and forever. That's right. Salt to the Streets. Another fantastic episode. Everyday Normal Person's Podcast. Salt to the Streets. Upper left or the upper left? Just upper left. Welcome to the salt of the streets, coming at you every week with this food for thought. Hope you ready to eat. With everything going on in this nation, we need some information, and that's why salt need to be stationed in your rotation. With real talking, real topics, real people, real problems. Think we need some help to solve them, and leave it up to Colin and Donovan, cause that's what's that? Oh, let's get ready. We're back to Salt to the Streets podcast. Social and political commentary. Life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, right? That's always and forever. That's right. Salt to the Streets. Another fantastic episode. Everyday Normal Person's Podcast. Salt to the Streets. Upper left or the upper left? Just upper left. Welcome to the salt of the streets, coming at you every week with this food for thought. Hope you ready to eat. With everything going on in this nation, we need some information, and that's why salt need to be stationed in your rotation. With real talking, real topics, real people, real problems. Think we need some help to solve them, and leave it up to Colin and Donovan, cause that's what's that? Oh, let's get ready. We're back to Salt to the Streets podcast. Social and political commentary. Life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, right? That's always and forever. That's right. Salt to the Streets. Another fantastic episode. Everyday Normal Person's Podcast. Salt to the Streets. Upper left or the upper left?
This is where I go, hey, 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 ho, ho, ho!
It's 9, Salt of the Streets pre-show. Thank you for joining us. We are live. My name is Donovan.
I'm Colin.
This is Colin. Episode 119, right there. Says it. Oh, there it is, 119. Thank you again for joining us. We are...
Oh, wait,
it's
all inverted.
I just did the same thing. That's so funny. We are happy to have you guys here today. Obviously, things are a little bit different. We have some things going on this weekend that required us to change around the recording schedule. We will have Larry...
He'll be here.
The man, the myth, legend, for the proper show. Yeah, we'll have that all. We'll have it figured out. So either way, we are here. Thank you again for joining us.
And I wanted to point out this right here.
Yes.
If you guys were watching last episode, and Mr. John Sadek had his head down like almost throughout the whole show, every time we cut to him, he cut back up. He was building this beautiful, dope-ass Salt of the Streets, P&W, Nils, Dr. Sly, Salt of the Streets swaggy thing.
He drew
It's
two
pretty
pictures.
Dope. I got to... There's two?
Excuse me. I think he drew two.
Oh my God, he did.
Yep. There's a second one in there.
I didn't turn the page last time, so
there you go.
we'll do a preview it. This looks like some straight up Halloween shit right here.
Yes.
This should go good with Christmas. We'll just pretend we're in Nightmare Before Christmas.
That's a good one.
Great film.
That's
Works for both holidays, too.
And last year, that's what we were for Halloween. Not this last one.
That was
the
the one before.
Yes.
Yeah, that was back when he was a little squishy.
Yes.
Yeah, he was all squishy.
He wasn't even walking yet then. He was. Let me tell you, this guy, he's working on Jack's full sentences now and like new words every day.
Bro.
Racked in like 3 new words the other day. Like it's all the time. Mickey
Every time
Mouse
I
and-
get a voice message from you guys in the morning, it makes my day.
Yeah.
Because he's the coolest little kid.
It's crazy. It is crazy.
And now we're going to have, and then
I told you he spelled home the other day with the magnets by himself. He's not even 3 years old. He'll be 3 in January.
yeah, and this doesn't surprise me at all. Kid's a genius.
Fish eggs, baby.
The what now? Fish eggs. Yeah, that's what it is. Thank you, Dr. Rhonda Patrick.
Yes, the fish eggs.
Via Joe Rogan.
I just ordered more yesterday.
What's the company you
for
ordered
baby
them
number
from,
2?
you know?
Vital Choice.
Vital Choice.
Is the place that we get them, and it's the salmon roe, the Akura. Is what it's called.
Akurus? Is that like
Japanese? That's just what Japanese people call it.
word.
In Japanese, the salmon roe is Akura.
My wife is obsessed with everything Japanese. I feel like I should know this.
So, yeah,
Failure as a husband.
it's a good deal. So I got a couple of jars shipped. I think 3 jars, some 6 ounces. Should be here next week.
Coming from Japan.
So, no, I think Vital Choice.
It's here.
I think Vital Choice is out of Alaska.
That's a good
But I
spot for
couldn't. Yeah, I couldn't tell you off the top of my head. But I think that they're out of Alaska. So they have all kinds of shit. They even have like subscription boxes now because they sell like just fish and stuff too, different types of fish, salmon and tilapia and whatnot that
Ooh,
are
good old
all
tilapia.
wild caught. So it's all deep, like orange and pink and stuff. And, yeah. So
Yeah, you can always tell like a farm raised salmon because they got that hot pink action going on.
Right,
And, like
right.
big, thick, like layers of that white fat and
Yeah.
stuff like that. Versus a wild caught, it's like this pinkish orange.
Right.
And like the fat, it's a real lean cut and it's delicious.
yes.
Fuck a farm raised. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, no, so they have all that type of stuff. That's a great company, and it's all,
Yeah.
Organic and I don't know, whatever the fuck. So,
Howdy, Will.
what up, Will Wallace? Happy to have you here. Thank
He
you,
sent me
sir.
a picture before the show. He went and got 2 growlers of,
Nice.
oh shit, was it? Is it liquid, or no, not liquid death. That's what I'm drinking today.
Yeah.
It's the stout, the death, Irish death. There we
Oh,
go.
okay.
You
Okay.
got two of those and a big old thing of chicken wings. I was like, that's a fucking way to kick the weekend off, man.
Okay.
Hell yeah. Did
That's
you get them at
what's
the Tracington, bro? Let me know.
Tracyton's a good spot.
Mm-hmm.
That's a great spot.
And I think at some point this weekend, I'm fairly sure, we're going to go catch a movie at a movie theater.
When was the last time you went to a movie theater?
It was Rona. I remember that.
During Rona?
Yeah, because I had to wear a mask and I was not excited about that.
Fuck that.
But I took it off once I got inside.
yeah.
Once I sat down, I was like, I'm
get high in the
I'm
movie
eating
theater.
and drinking, bro. Period.
I get high in the movie theater like every time. I'm just bring this pen in and just...
I'm just chilling it.
Yeah. I don't even give a fuck. No. I just cover the light up with my thumb and
Oh,
just
yeah.
get after it.
Yeah, that's a good. I should do that now. But I hear that, and I think it's the Tracington Movie House. Larry's like, oh man, I missed it. That's right. We'll catch you on the backside, bro. He's just getting home. This dude is hustling all the time. But I think there's a Tracington Movie House, right?
Yes.
Yeah, and
with
I hear
beers
they
and
just did it. Yeah, dope. It's like super dope, and it makes even the AMC.
I've heard
in
good
Silverdale. So I'm gonna try to get over there.
yeah, because the one in Bremerton, Seafilm,
Seafilm.
is pretty legit because they have like the
That's one
21
like downtown, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and they have the 21 and up theaters, but they punch your tickets when you buy drinks, and you can only buy X amount of drinks, and so
Probably a good idea.
well,
for me, anyways.
maybe
I'll throw back
probably
a
because they have
six-pack of beer while I'm watching a movie.
they sell 22s, like big Silver City
Ooh.
22s, So
No more than 2.
So when we went, I remember taking my ticket and Jordan's ticket afterwards, being like, "That's ho shit," and going and getting 4 beers. But they also have like a wine slushy, I remember, and like little bottles of wine. They have a couple of different things that you can get
Dude.
in the movie theater, and then you can order different food and stuff there.
I had a rosé slush at one time, and it was problematic.
I remember
They're so
first
good.
time I saw a movie theater that had anything like that anything other than just standard concessions. I was in Arizona visiting my dad, and I was a little kid, maybe 10, and they William Moss got him at the T.
Got him at the T.
Excellent choice. And I went there and they had like popcorn chicken and pizza, and I remember wanting it just because it was there, you know?
Yeah.
And I still don't really understand the expansion of the concessions into all these different arenas.
It almost feels like a stadium at this point.
Mini corn dogs and chicken nuggets and like little cinnamon buns, and it seems like a very weird
candy and popcorn.
You know,
that's
hot
that's
dogs at the most.
And that,
and I maybe only a handful of times have I had a hot dog at a movie theater. You know, because. First of all, they're $5. You know, a hot dog in a movie theater is going to be like $5
and
at least.
Like a ballpark Frank.
Yeah,
at the best.
Yeah,
I mean,
they used to be decent, but
pig parts here.
Yeah,
yeah. Carolina loves getting hot dogs when we go to the movie theater because that's the way she grew up. And I'm just like, I never got it. I never got it.
You should do it.
I just don't get it
on the rollers. You know. When they're cooked, because the
gas
rotating, exactly. So they're really pretty decent, and depending on the movie theater, because
of COVID, I think they microwave them.
Oh,
fairly sure.
Boo! Then it's not worth it. If it's microwaved, it's not worth it. If it's not cooked on the rollers,
you gotta have
like
the roller.
Gas station style, then I'm not interested, because that's the only.
You get a nice even crisp around the skin, you know, on the outside, assuming there's an actual skin on it.
It's like when you fry a hot dog in a pan, you know? Frying a hot dog in a pan with some butter, it's absolutely delicious, you know?
My dad used to make these things. I've never seen it anywhere else. Hot dog sandwiches.
Okay.
Because there's the great debate whether or not a hot dog is a sandwich or not, right? Well, when I was growing up, on like a weekend or something like that, my dad he'd take just some regular hot dogs, and he'd split them, like butterfly them in half, and then fry them like that, and you get 2 per, and then you put them on some bread with whatever standard, hot dog condiments you want on there, and then you just have a fucking hot dog sandwich. If you're feeling real bougie, you toast up the bread too.
Yeah, that's probably the way to do it. It's like using a hamburger bun when you don't have any hot dog buns, you know? It's like the same thing. I've done that before.
I do that shit all the time. Hot dog buns are notoriously sold at an odd count compared to hot dog sales.
Oh,
right?
yes.
So you got to buy more of one or the other.
Yeah.
And so I always end up pulling out like a slice of like super seedy Dave's killer bread or something like that and having like a multi-grain, thinly sliced, just carrier of the hot dog. Because, I mean, you got to have a hot dog, though.
If you aren't buying like bun-length hot dogs or something, then they do come in that odd denomination.
It's so weird.
I started buying a long time ago strictly
Hebrew Nationals.
Oscar Mayer's, right? The Oscar Mayer beef bun-length hot dogs. And that's like...
It's a solid choice.
They're delicious.
If you're like... an amateur to the hot dog game.
I don't. Then that's just, that's
judgment.
Certainly go for it.
I will fuck on probably about 6 of those.
Yeah.
They go down. They're so good.
The best ones I've ever had came from Minder Meat. Minder Meat makes beef hot dogs that are.
Where would you get those?
You can get them on the west side, like by all the car dealerships and stuff. Minder Meat has a place that you can go and pick up boxes of, you can order, a side of beef there, and you just go and pick it up at this place on the west side. Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I'm going to Bremerton this weekend, so
yes,
I'm going.
Down by the car dealerships, peep it. It's totally worth it. I mean, you can get a box of hot dogs that are beef hot dogs that are fucking enormous.
That's my favorite. Like
they're
those
amazing.
Costco size?
Excuse me, yes, but thicker.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Fucking like sausage style.
Yeah.
German.
They're delicious.
Speaking of German.
Yes.
I think it's time for a very special episode of... I wish I could do the thing where... Holiday Beer Time! Review. So we're going to punch out number 3.
3.
Hot dog. Oh, wait. We're done with hot dogs. Actually, I did want to ask you one more thing about hot dogs, so we'll do it after this. So we are looking at the Alms Hell beer. So that's going to be a Helles beer.
Yeah.
Which, if you've been watching the last couple episodes...
This is Lederhosen, is what this is.
It's Lederhosen there.
You can see the pockets.
Oh, yeah.
It's Lederhosen. That's what's on
That's
this can.
legit.
Lederhosen. There you go, guys.
That's a dope-ass can, too, by
It's
the way.
a very cool can.
Some of the cans, I mean, the previous cans here from the last couple days, I mean, they're cool enough. I mean, I like the Scroogey one. But
if you haven't seen the beer reviews, go and check them out on YouTube along with all
it.
of our other content. Obviously, we'll plug these things right now. You're watching us on YouTube. Thank you for joining us. YouTube, William Wallace, thank you. Thank you, everyone here. Instagram, obviously, Salt of the Streets. We have YouTube, Salt of the Streets. Facebook, fuck Facebook, is Salt of the Streets. We have our own personal social media. I'm at Salt of the Street on Twitter and at alpaca_Donovan on Instagram.
And what am I on?
Colin is a Big Bird Offie on both of those things. We also have saltofthestreets.com for all that information, the patreon.com/saltofthestreets. Speaking of which, we put out our second edition of the Salty newsletter last week, so
Pretty
it's
legit.
never too late to go there and sign up third tier and get that. We also have the Discord at Salt of the Streets, Swubblend if you need echolocation, Skate Shop if you need a skateboard, Lexi Kyle on Twitch, Leggings and Apron on Instagram. I believe that's it.
That's about it,
So,
I think.
There we go. Feel good. Atlas A&T, because Larry's going to be on later this episode.
Yeah.
So if you need some taxes, Atlas A&T, Larry the Tax Man.
Oh, God, I
All
still
those
have
things.
that thumbnail, too. I'm going to throw that up in between this show and
Excellent.
the next show.
I'm here for it.
It
So,
always looks good.
beers. Okay.
Beers!
Do you want to crack this? Do you want me to crack this?
Crack it right by the mic.
Okay.
And then you're going to be the one that shows it off today because you got the clear glass. Oh, yeah, there it is.
That's hot.
And I spoke about my tree mug yesterday.
Oh, yeah.
And so I got my WRB customized beer club mug that I'm gonna drink the beer out of today.
Okay.
Now remember, you got to turn sideways.
Yep. Oh, turn the beer side.
Yeah,
Okay.
that way the
A little more air.
yeah
so
we
it
get the
doesn't
airflow
glug.
in here, easy flow right through there. You are a professional. The first one I did, dude, I fucked it
Saw
up real
that.
bad. It had 4 inches, but it mellows out. Look at that. It's a nice, beautiful golden color
Yeah,
too.
that's pretty.
Oh,
Super light.
look at that. Oh yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was just going full glass. I didn't
Just
think
do
about
it,
splitting.
baby.
I was just pouring the full glass.
We have
Say we can
plenty
split.
more
Yeah.
beers for today.
I wasn't trying to take it all. I was just pouring a full glass
Bro,
just to
this
get
is
the
a special
full.
episode. You can get whatever you
So
want.
that's a nice color. Look at how fucking clear that is.
That is a crisp,
You
clear
can read
lager.
through it because this is
Yeah.
on the other side. That etching. That's how clear it is.
You look like the bad guy from Dune when you put that up and look behind your face. Look. By the way, Dune. Did you watch it while it
No.
was streaming? No.
No.
Oh, it was a great movie.
No, I
Can't
only
wait to
have
talk to
time to
somebody about
watch
that.
movies that I've seen before for some reason. For some reason, I can only watch
That
movies
totally
I've
makes
already
sense.
seen because I watched. Yeah, let's.
Let's smell it. What do you smell?
Ooh.
Floral, but malty. I like the smell of the malt. Yeah, I'm sure that's
Sweet.
Oh yeah, we got to do the ingredients read too.
Okay. Yep.
And I previewed this beer earlier today because we got to know what we're talking about here. And the ingredients on this one, this is not a top tier beer like yesterday's. That one, it came from some crazy ass German Alps. It was
Right.
legit. This is just water,
Oh.
barley, and hops.
Not even like reverse
this is legit.
osmosis water or anything like that?
No, just
The
water.
fuck?
I mean, but it's definitely from Germany. Grossklinbach.
Someone should brew beer with liquid death. And,
Ooh.
just use liquid death as the water.
And then, yeah, oh
Just
my
make beer
gosh.
with it.
All right, so
You could even go with unsparkling liquid death,
yeah, you're gonna have to, I
Yeah.
think, because that would be a mess. But,
But-
how much would that cost? I need
A lot.
about 6 gallons.
A lot. I wonder if we can get it in bulk from them and be like, well, we just want to try something.
We just want to
out.
make some beer out of your liquid death.
Yeah.
Well, cheers, buddy. Let's taste this bad boy.
All right.
Another just super smooth, easy drinking beer, man.
Yeah.
Real subtle though.
Yes.
Not a whole lot going on.
Even the
this one.
sweetness is it's like just right on the front, you know? Right
Yeah.
on the tip of the tongue.
Just the tip, just for a second, just to see how it feels.
The tip of the tongue gets the sweetness.
What is that from? The tip of the tongue gets the sweetness. This is Donovan
That's just
original.
the thing I said. Yep.
OG status achieved.
Just another T-shirt is all that it is.
Cheers, William
Cheers,
Wallace.
William Wallace. Thank you.
It's my island.
I do have to ask you because
Yes.
it's obviously a Friday show, notorious for people passing out on the Friday shows. So
I knew my earlier comment was going to cause issues.
What did you eat before we got here today?
Hot dogs.
Hot dogs.
As a matter of fact,
I love that.
Pepperidge Farm The cheddar worst ones. The cheddar worst or cheddar.
Okay, with the cheddar inside of the hot
Yeah,
dog.
it's pretty money. With some regular, I've been on the cheap regular ass bun kick though,
Yeah,
because I like
I like a cheap. I like
I like
the
a cheap
$1
regular ass
hot
bun.
dog bun.
It is a
you know?
conveyance system.
Yeah,
That's all it is. Don't bougie
the
up your hot
vehicle
dog
exactly.
bun.
Yeah,
Man, we're drinking beer, German beers. We should have some.
some brats.
Yeah, I was say brats. I almost said schnitzel, but I think that's like a little fried
Yeah,
beef thing.
yeah. It's almost like chicken fried steak.
I bet you that's exactly what it is.
Yeah. So there's
And
only
we just had to call it something else.
There's only one topic that I wanted to hit in the pre-show.
Okay.
And it's just to highlight how much the government and the president specifically doesn't give a fuck about anybody, right?
Yeah.
So obviously ran
a general
on the
rule.
platform of Joe Biden, the regular man, the everyday man, just like every other time he ran on anything. So over Thanksgiving, which is notoriously the most expensive Thanksgiving in a very long time,
Yep.
right? That's just how it was across the board. I don't remember.
I made 2.
Excuse me. Like I said, yeah, so I can't imagine, right? There was a bunch of different news agencies that are like, oh, consider not having turkey for Thanksgiving this year. That's a good way to save money. Or you could do that, and then when you tell people you're not going to have turkey, some people just aren't going to show up anyway. And so, excuse me, that's
Then you cut down on the
yep.
amount of people coming.
another good way to save money.
God.
Yeah, it's not good. So
Fuck you. That's all I'm going to say.
while that happened,
Tell me not to have a turkey.
President Biden spent his Christmas, or his Thanksgiving, at the home of
A donor.
a $30 billion home. It's not good. It belongs to the founder of a hedge fund, I believe.
Oh, of course.
Yeah, it's not good.
I'm sure he donated generously to his super PAC.
Oh, I'm certain of it.
Multiple super PACs.
Yeah.
That's
Of course,
the way to
I
do it.
left most all of my notes at home because I'm a POS, but
It's the end of the year show, bro. We're
we
running wild today.
we should also mention that. Thank you very
Indeed.
much for mentioning that. So today is December 3rd. This will be our last show of the year. We will be back. Do not worry. We will be back, and our next show will be January
Ocho, I believe.
8th. Yes.
Yeah.
I don't have it in this calendar. I have it in my paper calendar.
Indeed.
So January 8th, we'll be back for episode 120. We will have lots of content over this time. We went shooting last weekend, so we have lots of
Yeah.
good shooting content to come over the next couple of weeks. We're gonna
Fun
go,
drills, too, man.
did lots of fun drills, so we have lots of really good content. We went out with Jake and Carolina. Carolina slept in the truck for 2 hours while we shot steel targets around her. And not like around her,
Yeah.
but in the vicinity is what I'm saying.
Just shooting
very
guns,
weird.
like- yeah, if you're asleep 15 feet away from, the line of where we're shooting guns,
Yes.
you'd assume you can't sleep through that.
She was in the cab of the truck,
Yeah.
and I balanced on the on the
On the
bed of the
tailgate,
truck.
yeah.
On the bed of the truck that she was in.
Yep.
So, like you said, less than 15 feet that she's a. So
just
full on 16-inch AR. Boom, boom. Nothing. Yeah, I was shocked.
I would say, did our muzzle brake friend shoot from over there? I don't think so, right?
I don't know. Yeah,
That would have done it. That muzzle brake is loud.
it's crazy, that thing, but
Like,
it's
you sure
gotta.
that's a 223, buddy?
He seems to have a real easy time shooting it, so it's gotta be doing something for him. you
Well,
know?
I mean, because the muzzle brake, you throw one on. Have you shot many muzzle brakes? Oh man, so
I'm
you've
still
shot my
young
hunting
gun
rifle
to the.
before, right?
I don't.
Maybe?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Because one time I'll have to take you up with Chad, because he's fairly sure he's got a decent muzzle brake on his when it's not taped up, and I mean you shoot that thing and the recoil is reduced by like at least 25%.
Yeah.
And so you take a 223, which has a pretty, chill recoil anyways, and then you add a muzzle brake on there.
Cut it to nothing.
That thing will shoot like my Glock does. Just you won't even feel it.
Yeah.
It's like, oh wait, yeah, there it went. I heard the bang, but I didn't feel nothing.
And I kind of think.
Is it in yet? I didn't feel anything.
No. You're terrible. And I think
That did not land.
I think that gun is. Well, I was thinking at the same time, so that's the only unfortunate part.
Timing on my part, that was bad.
I think that gun that Jake has is a full-on rifle too. I don't think that it's like a shoulder or
she's
anything.
she's a long
So
one.
he just has real long arms, His arm, it's
Yeah.
like almost out of the end of the
Oh
rail
yeah,
there.
we're long people, man.
Yeah.
Our limbs are very long, and he is, I think, longer than me, a little bit.
He's very long.
He's a very long cat, always has been.
Morgan said that he ran like Woody is what
Yes.
he runs like Woody, which I thought was hilarious. So we'll see that in the coming weeks. Colin is also been working on. Obviously, we have these beer reviews that Colin is doing that are coming out daily. So we're gonna have those, lots of those coming up, nice and quick, good content for you guys.
Oh, yeah. And lots of surprises in store for
Other
2020.
surprise, yeah. Didn't want to say anything. We do have some other content in the works for you guys. Big things coming. You guys have been doing great things with the comments, with liking, with following us. So just keep sharing us with your friends. Keep telling everybody you know about us. Keep telling everyone that you love freedom and liberty, and that's what everyone should love, and everyone should seek that. And it doesn't matter what your political ideology is, as long as you believe in freedom.
That's about it.
It's time for everyone to come together around that and work towards that common goal, because that's all that matters is individual freedom, individual responsibility, and I think that applies to everybody.
Yeah, that's a strong one, man. So, strong message for the close out of the year, buddy.
Right off the top of the dome.
You guys don't even know this yet, but towards the end of tonight's podcast, I'm going to ask you guys for some closing thoughts on the year.
Excellent.
Some of the biggest stories you thought about, so it gives you some time to think about it.
It's fucking December, right? I like that really kind of just as you're like closing thoughts on the year, I'm like, holy fuck.
Yeah.
It's fucking December.
We were just doing
oh my God.
New Year's like a couple weeks ago.
That just
Feels
happened.
like.
You just watched it happen in real time. The
Yes.
setting in of like a whole year has just passed.
It's pretty wild.
Yeah, I remember. Yep.
This, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm not generally a big like New Year's person for whatever reason. I mean, I'm kind of a Scrooge McDuck a lot for a lot of things, but
Christmas sucks.
Well, for you, because your birthday's the day before,
No.
bro. All right.
No,
Which, by the way, I got you a birthday present this year and a Christmas present.
because you're a good friend.
That's right, because I can only imagine what hell that would have been like growing up.
Trenton
You only get one day,
Trenton notoriously gets me.
and you
got to
share it with Jesus.
Got to share it with Jesus. He's not going anywhere, you know. Certainly not before I do. So. No, Trenton notoriously gets me one gift to fuck with me. He's like,
Oh yeah.
and he doesn't ever call it one thing. He just gets me a present.
Yeah.
It's
It's like, oh no. He's like, well, is this for my birthday or Christmas? It's just a present.
just a
man.
present.
Just a
yeah.
present.
It almost always comes after Christmas
Yeah.
or before, you know, like it's never on these times, even though we see him,
Yep.
my birthday or Christmas, it's never on those days that it's always before, after. Yeah.
I almost accidentally gave you yours today because
That's who you are.
About 5 minutes before you got here, it was sitting right there on the corner of the table. And I was like, oh, hide it. But I'll show you what I got your wife, though. Because
Excellent.
I hope you'll appreciate that. And then
Yeah.
she gave the clearance on yours.
That's what you said.
And you're just, it's right up your alley. It's perfect.
I got something good in the works for you. I think.
Yeah.
So.
There was a pre-show thing I wanted to talk to you about. We did the beer thing.
Yep.
Maybe I'll
Joe
remember
Biden.
it between now and then. Now and when we start the main show.
I watched Alec Baldwin, right? I watched
yes,
Alec Baldwin.
that's what I was going to
So
ask you
first
about
of
that.
all, did you know that George Stephanopoulos has his own production company? Because he does. So this, well, I didn't know that. I should have assumed that, but
wonder
I
if he
didn't know that.
leases. He has like licensing fees that he sells. 'Cause he's
GSP.
on CNN.
He is on ABC.
ABC.
Yes.
So he must license it to ABC for some extra Skrilla.
Oh yeah.
Got
Because I watched it on Hulu, right? So ABC also has a deal with Hulu because you can watch ABC live on Hulu,
Yeah, fuck
even
Hulu.
if you don't have live TV, right? You can still watch ABC live.
I remembered.
So George Stephanopoulos Productions did this thing with Alec Baldwin that they sold to ABC, which then sold it to Hulu because you could. Yes.
Yeah, I see here.
Yes.
Yep.
So there's a whole circle jerk of
Yeah.
money. It's kind of gross.
Called the leftist crony capitalism.
It's really not good, right?
No,
and
it's
so
not good.
it's weird the things that they're willing to ignore, you
Yeah.
know? And I truly
Shut
mean
up.
leftists. Like the people, like leftists, the things that the people on the left that Democrats are willing to ignore,
Oh, yeah.
but then turn not even 90 degrees and be like, but that's bullshit though.
It's
Yep.
that much. Right
That's
there.
okay. That's wrong. You
The
shouldn't be doing
same
that.
amount of declination that would have saved the woman Alec Baldwin killed. That much.
Yeah,
That's
so
all
the
they gotta
Alec Baldwin
do.
thing, he's like, says he never pulled the trigger, right? And so
Yeah,
he
yeah.
says that he pulled the hammer back didn't fully cock it after he said that he cocked the gun, right? In this, I'm paying a lot of attention, and this is all, I want to be very clear, this is all with the caveat, it's all edited. All of this edited. This is conversation was likely much longer than 43 minutes, right?
Yeah.
But that's how long this was.
They do it.
So, based off of what they provided, all of this, I'm not going to say that every time, but all of this is with the caveat that it's with what they provided, because that's all that I can go off of.
This is the narrative that they built.
Yes. Right?
Which is probably still going to be bad.
He says that he cocked the gun and then says, I didn't cock it all the way back. I pulled the hammer back as what's her name? Helania is... She's the cinematographer. She's telling him where to aim, and he's like, can you see it? Can you see it? Can you see it? The gun and stuff like that. Is it the right angle? And he lets the hammer go, and that's when the gun goes off.
So he didn't have it locked all the way back,
correct.
Supposedly.
He just lets the hammer go, and so then it slams, and it hits the primer of the live round that's in the revolver. He says, I don't even think, I didn't even consider until the police told me that someone had been shot that there was even a live round in the gun, right? Which seems stupid.
Yeah.
Even if there's... why would there be live ammunition on set, right? The same thing everybody said, right?
Yeah.
I can see why you would assume that on the set.
Yeah.
Why would the first thought when someone is bleeding and dying and the other person is bleeding and injured, why would your first thought not, oh, shit, is there actually like a bullet in here on accident?
I wonder if he was like, wonder what happened there.
So he also, then they quibble a little bit, like he gets asked about the weapons training. Mm-hmm. And again... Right,
Red October, bro. He's got a gun in that movie.
He's saying that, when I went through this training, she's telling me, like, George Stephanopoulos asks him, what was the training like, right? So he starts going through the training that he went through with this armor that's on the set of Rust. Mm-hmm. And he says, oh, well, she was telling me a lot about, how I'm going to have to make the movement of the gun because the dummy rounds don't do that. And which I don't...
That doesn't seem right. But
that's what I'm saying. There was also...
all that black powder is going to come out.
An inaccuracy of language between blanks and dummy rounds, where blanks are not dummy rounds, but dummy rounds do exist. It's and this is where the confusion, I think, lies a lot, especially in this, that a dummy round, to my knowledge, is a bullet. I meant to bring one with me that has a rubber stamp on the end. It's a fake bullet. It's just metal. The whole thing is metal, and it has a little rubber cap on the back end that the firing pin can hit, that it won't fuck up the firing pin, and obviously nothing will happen, right? So this here, right, that whole thing, and then on the back end, the ones I have are pink, right? And then on the back end, there's just a little rubber pad that the firing pin will hit. It won't fuck up the firing pin, and nothing can happen, right? And so that, to my knowledge, is a dummy round. And then there is...
So according to Wikipedia, let me just read this real quick. A dummy round or drill round is a round that is completely inert, i.e. contains no primer, propellant, or explosive charge.
Yes. Okay. So, and that's exactly what I'm saying.
So it wasn't a dummy round.
No. It could, a blank round and a dummy round are different. A blank round doesn't have a projectile in it.
Yeah.
It has powder and sometimes a wadding or something in the end just to keep it there. But generally something that will burn off with the explosion, right? Occasionally, some people will get hit by pieces of that, but it's a piece of paper. It won't not fuck you up, especially because it's not a ball. Yeah. It's like just a covering, A lot of times it's like pieces of little plastic and stuff like that, like I said, burn up with the explosion.
And then what they say Brandon Lee died from?
I believe Brandon Lee was killed with something lodged in the barrel of the gun. Like there was something stuck, I believe.
There's a lot of,
I don't know for certain. That's to my knowledge,
I think that's one of those things that we'll never know the actual truth.
So the inaccuracy of language here in this interview is not good, right? And then there is a kind of quibbling about people's personal protocol with safety of firearms, because they played this clip of George Clooney where George Clooney's like, I've never handled a gun where I didn't, show several people. I took the magazine out and then, cleared the chamber and like everything, right? Everything that you should do. And we went over this, right? In my opinion, and I think the vast majority of all responsible gun owners would carry this same opinion, that regardless of the situation that you're in, your experience, your training, your anything, if you're on a fucking movie set, if you're on fucking anything, if someone hands you a gun that is capable of chambering a live round and shooting, you ensure that it is clear before you point at somebody, before you pull the trigger, before you do fucking anything.
Yeah.
You also shouldn't be pointing a gun at somebody, right?
Yep. It's one of the commandments.
And that's that's kind of what I touched on the last time we were here, is the thing about those 4 rules is that it's like a safety net that if you break one of them, the other 3 will generally save you, right? If you have checked the gun and you, whatever the fuck, and you know that it's not hot, but you point it at somebody, that person is not going to die because you know for a fact there isn't a bullet. You still shouldn't do it because it's not safe, because that gun, something could happen. There could be a bullet in there, right? So the quibbling of, he even said, because George Clooney said that shit, and then Alec Baldwin says, unless you're told it's empty. Except no, because it doesn't matter who fucking tells you what the status of the gun is. You assume that it is loaded no matter what, because shit like this happens, right? There's more quibbling of, he keeps hitting on this point of we had this thing in common, me and Helenia, that we assumed the gun was unloaded. We had this thing in common that we assumed the gun was unloaded.
So you both
who fucking cares? So you were both negligent, is what you're saying to me, right? We've gone over this before.
Trying to throw the dead woman under the bus.
Kim Potter case that's going on right now. She's the police officer that said that she meant to tase the young man. We believe that she meant to tase the young man.
Taser.
Negligent. Fucking shot him. Right? You are still negligent. You are a police officer. You are negligent. This was not an accident.
Negligent homicide?
This was a negligent discharge. That is what this was. It's the same thing with Alec Baldwin. You cannot escape negligence here. You can tell me that, and he said, everyone has their protocol. Mine never let me down. Except for when you killed somebody. Because you just fucking killed somebody. So that seems like such a crazy thing to say to me because you just killed somebody. And you're saying, well, it never let me down before.
It wasn't really my fault.
Except when you fucking killed somebody. And that's the only time that it matters. Gun safety, it doesn't matter until you kill one of your friends. Yeah. And then it really matters that you weren't being safe with your gun, right? It can be all nonchalant, everything that you want, right? Yeah. It's insane to me
that he's not in prison.
No, right, and he said from the information that I have and the people I have from on the inside of the state, it's very unlikely that I will receive criminal charges. Right? That's what he said. Negligent discharge of this firearm on behalf of Alec Baldwin, and he is already under the impression from inside knowledge from the state that he's unlikely to receive criminal charges. Right? He also
there's nothing wrong with our justice system.
Yes. Regarding the civil case that he said was almost definitely going to come from Helenia's husband, right? He said, I expect it, He's
a lawyer.
So I would expect it, his wife died and...
Yeah, I shot and killed his wife.
He says, he lost his wife because of, and he says, I don't want to say negligence, but because something happened. It was negligence. You were negligent.
You had a gun on your hand.
It is...
You pointed it at somebody, and you shot them.
It is undebatable. I don't care if you have your own personal safety protocol with firearms. Then I don't want to go shooting with you because you're fucking dangerous. If you're not following the 4 basic tenets of firearm safety that I wouldn't allow my son to handle a firearm if he was not following these things, then you shouldn't be handling a firearm. I don't care if you're on a movie set. I don't care if it is a gun that your grandpa brought back from World War II that hasn't seen around since he killed somebody with it in Europe. I don't care. I don't care. It doesn't matter to me. I don't care. It's insane. I've been less than 3 years I've been doing this, and it's crazy to me. I already said it. It's crazy to me that he was given the platform to be able to give false information and complain about the bad takes from other people because, they weren't in this situation, and, the sheriffs haven't even released their report yet. So how do we really know what happened? You just said you pulled the hammer back, you didn't check the firearm because you have your own personal safety protocol that you think for some reason supersedes. He said some armorers have made the choice and they've insisted that they show me and other people around them that the magazine is clear, that the chamber is clear. As they fucking should. It's a gun. It's a goddamn gun. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? It's the most dangerous thing ever, right? Yep. Guns are terrible. People shouldn't have them. Isn't that what you think? You live in New York, right? Yep. Where no one can fucking have a gun except for probably you,
Probably you.
What are we talking about?
What we're talking about here has almost nothing to do with the substance of the shooting. What we're talking about here, at the real bottom line, is that because he is Alec Baldwin, he will get off after he killed somebody. Well, it's the
and maimed somebody else.
Yeah, it's the Jenner thing. It's the same deal. These elite celebrity people with shit tons of money can do things that us normal plebs can't do, and we have no recourse to actually bring justice to this.
I would be interested, because I don't want to assert anything, but I'd be interested, and then we can end on this and we can go to the real show. I would be interested in who had more logged hours of firearm training. Kim Potter, the police officer who negligently discharged, or Alec Baldwin on a movie set. Because, as we know, police officers do not receive anywhere near as much training in general, but firearms training, as they should, right? Fucking what Jake was telling us last weekend. The only thing that our buddy who's a cop is mandated to practice is firing with his non-dominant hand.
Yeah.
For what in the world is that the only thing you should have to train is firing with your non-dominant hand?
There's no, like, required hours
That's
at the
crazy.
range
That's
or
crazy.
anything like that.
That's crazy. You're a cop. You are a cop.
You wear one every day.
Why should I be holding myself to stricter standards than you are when your job is to enforce? It's
at the barrel of a gun.
It's insane, you know? So I would be interested in who has more logged hours of firearm training between those two people.
God, I would not be surprised. And not just to include, like, the age difference or anything, but I would not be surprised if it was Alec Baldwin.
Yes.
From all the action movies he's done. And you know they got to go through training shit before they do every movie like that.
Yes.
And you know the real tragedy here, other than obviously Alec Baldwin killing somebody, is I highly doubt we're going to be able to see this movie now. A Western movie.
I don't think they're going to finish it.
I don't think so. I don't think this is going to be a thing anymore. Every investor is going to lose a lot of money.
I don't know.
And hopefully sue Alec Baldwin for every penny.
Alec Baldwin.
Because he did shoot and kill a woman.
I will say.
Set. He shot and killed a woman. Alec Baldwin shot and killed a person. Just let that be a reminder.
Negligently.
I still love Red October. And I still love a lot of his movies.
Yeah.
But that's okay. I can separate it.
Glenn Ross?
30 Rock? Is that what you're referring to?
No.
Okay. I don't know.
The movie. Oh my God. You have never seen Glenn Ross?
I'm IMDbing at the minute. Let's do this here. Glenn.
Coffee is for closers, Colin.
Coffee is for closers.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Glengarry Ross.
No. That one.
Glenn Ross. God. What is
Glengarry
Oh!
Glenn Ross. It's about a bunch of, they sell something.
An examination.
Real estate, that's what it is.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
The machinations behind
the leads.
scenes.
They're trying to get the leads, man. Second place, steak knives.
Kevin Spacey?
You cannot believe
this
you
movie?
have never seen Glengarry Glenn Ross.
Al Pacino. Jack Lemmon.
I am telling
Kevin
you.
Spacey. Bruce. Ed Harris.
This is a
Jonathan
fucking
Pierce.
great movie.
Fuck, I know what I'm watching later.
I cannot believe you've never seen this movie.
Star-studded cast, dude. All about the disgusting world of real estate. I'm into it.
Yes. If anybody watching this, William Wallace, because you're here, you haven't seen this, I did enjoy the federal training I received.
Oh, yeah, I'll show you in between the show. I'll show you the facility.
Excellent.
It's legit.
So, if you haven't seen the movie William Wallace, which I assume you have because it's a fucking amazing movie, Glengarry Glenn Ross. Everyone should watch that. It's
Glengarry being one word, Glenn Ross,
being
2 words.
Yes. It's a good real estate company.
It's like every real estate company is named after people. Every lawyer
Yes.
firm is named after people.
Exactly.
Just goes to show you why those people are all the scum of the earth.
That is a hot take.
Used car dealers.
Ooh.
Fucking Tony's
I'm gonna
used
take a
cars.
look at it. What the fuck? How have you... You guys are way older than me. I mean, like, not way older, but you're definitely older than me.
When did
The
that come
movie
out?
is probably...
1992.
So this movie is 2 years older than I am.
Yeah, that's like in his heyday, too. Alec was doing
What
tons
I'm
of
saying,
movies
look at
back
how
here.
good he looks.
And
Al
I
Pacino.
fucking love Kevin Spacey.
The Pacino, man. I mean...
Yeah. Yeah, this is going to be good.
It's a fantastic movie.
A story for... Oh, I can't read that. I'm assuming enterprise.
For everyone
who
works for a living.
Oh. But real estate people don't work for a living. They hustle for a living.
And that's so these people are like, so they're working on leads. They're trying to get leads to a specific set of like real estates, and so they're like doing cold calls and trying to convince
This is not
regular
like selling
people
homes.
to
This is
like
big buildings.
yeah,
Big money.
not even big buildings, but like complexes and stuff that they're getting people to invest in to build, a neighborhood or whatever. It's like shit like that. Yes.
Like what I do for a living.
Yeah.
Except
Except you're not selling
that
the
part of
neighborhood.
it. Yeah.
So
Ugh.
that's what Just about, yeah. So they're working on leads the whole time, trying to get the leads.
I got an offline story I got to tell you.
Coffees
Show.
for closers.
It's legit. Coffees for closers.
Yeah, with that,
you don't get coffee. Coffees for closers. See,
thank you, everybody.
I can do 2 things.
Thank you, everybody, for joining us. YouTube.com, Salt of the Streets.
It's going to be a great episode.
Instagram, Salt of the Streets. Facebook, and Salt of the Streets.
Yes.
Patreon, Salt of the Streets. Discord, Salt of the Streets through the Patreon. Also, newsletter number 2 came out last week. Check it out. Colin and I put out an article.
You fucked on the mainstream media and their propaganda, and I fucked on the government lying to you. Yeah.
It's out here.
Kind of sums it up.
Yeah, so subscribe to the Patreon so you can get that content. Obviously, we have our own personal social media. I am at Salt of the Street on Twitter and at alpaca_Donovan on Instagram. And Colin is at Big Bird Offie on both of those things. You can find all this on saltofthestreets.com. Leggings and Aprons on Instagram. Lexi Kyle on Twitch. Swell Blended if you need a haircut. Only for the next few weeks. He's having a baby. He's going to be out of the office for a while. If you need a skateboard, location state shop.
I wonder if he's going to go on 3 months of paternity leave like Pete Buttigieg
I'm
did.
interested in him because he's a hustler. You know
He
what I'm
is.
saying? He's in there for like 12 hours a day. So I'm interested.
I'm guessing within 2 weeks that baby's going to be hanging out the shop. Listening to us in the background.
Yeah. So
we know the child's going to have a good upbringing.
shout out to Paul. Good for you. Armani, his girlfriend.
Yeah. Congratulations.
Yes. You
That
guys are
shit's awesome.
fantastic. With that, we'll see you guys in just a little bit with Larry for the real